Namaskar. Welcome to the lesson number 12 under chapter number 2, Analysis Methodology. In this lesson, I'm going to discuss you about the ruling planets and their advantages. What are ruling planets? Ruling planets are nothing but at the time of analysis, if we check the transit of moon and lagna, in which rasi, which star and sub, these transit of this moon and lagna, they are ruling that moment. In other words, at the time of analysis or judgment, check the moon in which rasi, which star, and of course sublord also can be considered. And similarly, lagna, rasi lord, star lord, and of course sublord also can be considered. And day lord. Importantly, moon, sign lord, star lord, lagna, sign lord, star lord, and day lord are the important ruling planets. In addition to that, we can also take the sublord of the moon and the lagna. So at the time of analysis, what are their moments, what are their positions? These rulers are called ruling planets. In short, we can say it is RPs. As you are aware that in KP, this RPs is the, good invention of our Guruji KSK. It is widely used, especially in the, horary chart analysis. Strong ruling planets. What are strong ruling planets out of these ruling planets? The ruling planets who are favorable planets for the event in the natal chart, they are favorable ruling planets. It means out of the ruling planets for which event we are analyzing, the ruling planet which are all favorable planets in the natal chart for the event, they are actually favorable ruling planets. The ruling planets repeatedly appearing. It means if your ruling planet is repeated multiple times, that planet becomes strong ruling planet. Suppose moon sign lord may be Jupiter, lagna star lord can be Jupiter. So that means Jupiter is repeated. It means that ruling planet Jupiter is a strong ruling planet. If ruling planet is in the sign and star of another ruling planet, it will be a strong ruling planet. Suppose Jupiter is the ruling planet, Jupiter in the Rasi of another ruling planet and star of another ruling planet. So ultimately, that ruling planet is becoming stronger because of the support of the other ruling planets. If a ruling planet is in conjunction with or aspected by another ruling planet, that also will become strong ruling planet. So, in other words, ruling planet is getting the support of other ruling planets. A ruling planet in the star and sub of another ruling planet, that ruling planet will be strong ruling planet. Retro RPs. The impact of retro RPs actually in horary, we would have studied that the planet, retro planet, if it is playing, that has to be given importance because that ruling planet will gives indicates that will give obstacles and hurdles or delay in the event. The same thing can also be considered in the ruling planets in case of natal chart analysis, but in a different manner that if your ruling planet is a retro planet, it can cause some delay till it becomes direct motion. So that's what we also studied in the horary. The same thing, it can also be considered if the ruling planet at the time of analysis that is retro in motion till that planet is becoming direct in motion, that can cause some delay. If a ruling planet is a retro planet and is in the star of another retro planet, that planet who is in the star of this RP will cause more delay or obstacles in the event signified by the planet. Suppose a planet as Jupiter is favorable for an event. Suppose Jupiter in the star of Saturn is suppose retro. It means Jupiter will have some delay because of the Saturn. retro planet, the star-lord planet, that is going to give some obstacles in its significations because of the retro motion. Till it's becoming direct, it can cause delay or obstacles. Suppose that star-lord Saturn is also in the star of another planet, suppose Mercury. That Mercury also, suppose it is retro. It means Saturn retro in the star of another planet retro means that Jupiter will face a lot of obstacles, more delays, hurdles because of this. Based on the significations of that event, the impact will vary. I hope you have understood. In the EPS StarSoft advanced software, an option or tool is given to check the impact of the ruling planets at the time of analysis on other planets. This will help in finding not only the strong ruling planets as discussed above, but also in finding the DBA periods who are under the influence of those ruling planets. It means the impact of the ruling planets or the other planets in the natal chart or in the horary chart can be easily identified in the software EPS StarSoft advanced software that an option has been given. I will explain you with the help of the software itself for your better understanding. Now I have created a chart for the moment in the EPS StarSoft advanced software. In this you can see transit ruling planets and natal ruling planets. As this is the chart of the moment, both natal and transit ruling planets will remain the same. Both will be the same. Suppose if you are studying a natal chart, during that time, the natal ruling planets will be different according to the birth chart, and transit ruling planets will be according to the ruling planets at that time and date, time, and the place. So now you can see both natal and transit will be the same. Day lord is moon, moon Rasi lord is Mars, moon star lord is Ketu, moon sublord is Rahu. And ascendant Rasi lord is Mars, ascendant star lord is Jupiter, and ascendant sublord is Mars, and also Rahu also represent that Mars, so that Rahu also shown here. So you can see Mars, 3 times Mars is appearing and Rahu is appearing 2 times. So among the ruling planets, Mars is appearing multiple times, and also Rahu represents Mars. So Mars and Rahu are the strong ruling planets by way of a number of times they are appearing, right? So in that, for example, the planet which are in the sign of a key planet, other ruling planet, star of another ruling planet, or conjoined with other ruling planets, they can also become, significant ruling planet. That's what I was telling. So in this, how to find that? So just I'd like to show the tool, what is there in the software. If you go to the EPS event, on top, you can see planet colors. If you open that one, you can see transit RPs in green color. It means you want to see the transit ruling planets in green colors. If you check this, you can see the planets Ketu, Moon is the day lord. So Mars, Rahu, and Jupiter. So Jupiter also has become the one of the ruling planets. So it is selecting these planets or the ruling planets at the time of analysis. It is shown in the green color. If you set this, what will happen? In the EPS tables, all the planets, all the ruling planets will get the green color font, so that we can identify each planet, ruling planet, in nakshatra of other ruling planet or not, sub of other ruling planet or Rasi Lord also ruling planet, or conjoined planet ruling planet. So all these things we can easily identify. If you go to the main page, if you look at the small EPS tables, you can check the ruling planets. Ketu is the ruling planet. Ketu in the star of Mars, another ruling planet. Sub of Venus. Venus is not a ruling planet, but Ketu represents Venus. So, but still, Ketu in the star of Mars, another ruling planet. Day-Lord, Moon in the star of Ketu, sub of Rahu, and that is all a ruling planet. Mars is a ruling planet in the star of Venus, not a ruling planet, but representing Ketu and the sub of Saturn. So Mars is repeated, but the star level and sub level, it is not in a strong ruling planet. So, I mean, a multiple way it is not connected. But look at the Rahu in the star of Ketu, sub of Moon. I mean, all the 5 levels are ruled by the ruling planet. So Rahu is becoming strong ruling planet because that star lord, sign lord, star lord, sub lord, all the planets are ruling planets. So that way we can identify the influence of the ruling planets on the other planet by way of Rasi lord, star lord, and sub lord. Suppose which dasa is running. Suppose you are analyzing the natal chart or any horary chart also, which dasa is running. Suppose dasa is running Saturn dasa. Suppose, for example, I mean, now the Ketu Ragu running. No, so Ragu dasa is running. Ragu Bukti is running. Whether Ragu is going to be favorable or not. No, not the Ragu. For example, next Jupiter is going to be favorable for the event according to the signification. If you choose that, check that Jupiter, star and sub of the other ruling planets, definitely it is going to be a good ruling planet. So that Jupiter can be a good planet in giving its significations. That way also you can say that. So in one more thing also, look at the ruling planets at the time of analysis. Check those ruling planet significations. If they are signifying favorable for the particular event, I'm talking about for the event of, for the horary chart analysis. Suppose somebody is asking a question with the number or without the number. If you take the transit chart, that is Prasanna chart, check the ruling planet at the time of analysis. Check those planet significations. If they are all favorable for the event, it is indicating, yes, that is promised or it is going to give trouble during that period, so that we can easily identify. For that purpose, the role of ruling planets in the other planets, rulers or in supports, what are the impact it is giving, and also to know the ruling planet strength by way of connected to the other ruling planets, we can easily identify with the help of this tool. I think, I mean, you would have understood. By way of practice, you can easily do it. That is also required whenever that user or the astrologer, they are in need of such tool, they can use it. Okay. Now we are going to discuss about the advantages of the ruling planets. The ruling planets can be considered as supportive divine tool to the astrologer during the analysis for an event. It can help the astrologer in selecting the favorable DBA periods. Please note that only when the astrologer's running period is favorable or supportive to the lagna of the astrologer, that astrologer can get the help from the divine ruling planets. Suppose the astrologer's running time is not favoring him with it is having more unfavorable 8 and 12 significator. It means what? That astrologer has to experience struggles and obstacles in general. So during that period, he may or may not get the help of the divine ruling planets. He may find difficulty in getting the help from the divine ruling planets. So it means what? Not all the astrologer, all the people who are all analyzing may not get the divine ruling planets all the time. Second, we have to understand that ruling planets at the time of analysis will have connection to the event in discussion. It will have connection to the event in discussion. They can give some clue on the prospects of the event in discussion, and they can help in selecting the DBA periods for that event when the astrologer is in dilemma. It means at the time of analysis, check the ruling planets. those ruling planets will have connection to the event for which event we are analyzing the chart, that will have connection to that event. So, I mean, based on that, they will give some clue on that prospects of the particular event, and also they may help in selecting the favorable DBA periods for the event also. I mean, for the astrologer can get the help when the astrologer is in dilemma. If the purpose of the consultation of the analysis is for the event of birth time rectification, these ruling planets will help in finding the Lagna's position. That is to find the correct birth time, that ruling planets can help. Because that purpose of consultation is to find the correct birth time. I hope you have understood. Suppose somebody is asking for consultation exclusively to know the birth time. So he is having doubt on the birth time, or he doesn't know the correct birth time. He is having only range of birth time. So for that, when we are sitting, the astrologer is sitting to judge or to get the correct birth time. So those ruling planets at the time of analysis will help in finding the ruling planets of the Lagna, that is Lagna position in the birth chart, because that is the event. If the purpose of consultation or analysis is for other event, like for marriage event or job or progeny or abroad travel, etc., that ruling planets will have connection to those events in the natal chart. I hope you have understood. If these ruling planets are favorable for the event in the natal chart, it indicates that they will give strong favorable results to the event during their Dasa Bhukti Antara periods. I hope you have understood. If these ruling planets are unfavorable planets for the event in the natal chart, it indicates that they will give strong unfavorable results to the event during their Dasa Bhukti Antara periods. These conditions are also applicable in the horary chart analysis as well. I hope you have understood these points. Please keep in mind that the ruling planets at the time of analysis need not to be connected to the natal chart's Lagna position. And based on that, we cannot fix the cuspal sublord or cuspal subsublord or star lord of the ascendant, because we cannot adjust the birth time to fix the Lagna cuspal sublord to match the judgment ruling planets every time we take the same chart for analysis. Suppose when we take a chart today, we'll have some ruling planets. So ruling planets should connect to the Lagna rulers. Most of the people they're thinking that only based on the ruling planets of at the time of analysis and the Lagnas RP should have connection, especially Moon RP. Of course, there has got some logic, but these Moon RPs will have good connection to the event in discussion. Suppose we are taking a chart for some event, but in that period, the Lagna RPs of the natal chart may not be connected to the RPs of the moon or the running RP. So we may adjust the birth time. Suppose next time you are taking the chart for some other analysis after a month or so, that moon RPs may be different. So that Lagna RPs may not get matched to that moon RPs. So every time we should not adjust, right? It means that moon RPs at the time of analysis is having connection to the event in discussion. You hope you would have understood. But if the analysis is for the purpose of birth time rectification, definitely that ruling planet will have connection to the Lagna rulers. Otherwise, just looking at the ruling planets, we cannot fix the Lagna rulers, Lagna star lord, sublord or sub-sublord all the time directly. There are some, methods, authentic methods in fixing the birth time that we will discuss under the birth time rectifications. But ruling planets at the time of analysis can be taken as a supportive tool only, but based on that only, we should not decide the Lagna rulers, that is birth time of the native. I hope you would have understood. And with this, we close this lesson, the ruling planets and the benefits and advantages and how to check it. So we will meet in the next lesson. Thank you.